Good day everyone, this is Chesscology. For today's video, a lesson 2 of our spot the weakness. I mentioned in lesson 1 that going to create a series about how to spot a weakness. And of course, this is a puzzle or activity, but as long as you study, you can use it, you can apply it in your real game. Also, I mentioned in our lesson 1, you can check the video that if you want to create a plan, you have to consider three things. I gave three things. Of course, you can add more, but the number one is first, you have to understand the position. By how to understand the position, you have to understand the positioning of your pieces, and you have to understand the space and find the weakness. And the lesson that we are talking about here is spotting the weakness. So let's talk about here. In puzzle, you can have at least a chance to know what to do. Getting the advantage or just slight advantage, checkmate, so or stalemate, a draw. So if you are solving puzzle, there's a hint, there's a clue. So it will be more convenient for you to find the solution. But of course, in the real game, there is no way for you to get a hint unless you gotta check something or engine. Don't do that. You can have some idea. In this position, I gotta tell you, I gotta give you a hint. It's a 3-move checkmate. But of course, let's just first study the weaknesses. How this activity helpful in my game? Wow, that's a good question that we will answer today, because in our games, we can find weaknesses that we created ourselves, or come on, or your opponents. It's like your opponent created the weaknesses, or you created the weakness of your opponent. You cause your opponent to create a weakness. That is something good. Now, this is a given position with obviously weaknesses, and let's find out. Number one, this H file. This is a weak position for black, where there is no way for black to stop the queen and rook. It's like, come on, this is a battery. This is too strong. It became more strong because the king is here, unsafe. Okay, how many defender? You got your queen, you got your knight, bishop. Okay, bishop is protecting this one. The knight's protecting the e7. So if the queen will just go here, there's a piece to capture here, but let's talk about that later. And of course, the queen is anytime ready to change the position of the bishop if white would decide to capture the bishops. Like bishop takes bishop, queen here, and the king is a little bit safe now if the queen is here. So what else aside from this one? This knight can go here, a free square for the knight, covering the weakness on f7 and h7 at the same time. So if you have your knight jumping in the center or jumping in the territory of your opponent, obviously the knight is covering the squares inside inside the territory of your opponent. It's like penetrating inside, and it's actually difficult to stop the knight. It's not like a bishop that you can block, or the queen that you can block, or rook that you can block. There's no way for you to block the knight because it can jump. So once the knight jumps on the square, it covers squares. Just hold on. Squares inside the territory of your opponent. What else? This bishop is doing pretty well, covering this one, and most especially these diagonals. Okay, we can use the longest one, the knight jump, and this bishop here, all together, coordinated moves to checkmate the king in 3 moves. Now, since you understand, number one, the role and the function of each of your pieces, and spotting the weaknesses, you also have to understand the way your opponent would defend. It's like, okay, how many defender? I mentioned earlier that there's a knight, there's a bishop, there's a queen, and what is the limit of the limit of the defense that a piece can do. Like for example, this knight. The limit of this knight to defend the king is just here, protecting the e7, nothing else. So this knight cannot go here, go here. There's no way for knight to cover. There's a limit. And this bishop is also has a limit. Okay, this bishop is just protecting this one, challenging the bishop, but cannot cover this one, cannot cover this one. And this queen, unfortunately, cannot help the king near because okay, I can go until h7, but there's bishop blocking my way, so somehow ineffective unless white would decide to capture. So you have to understand there are defender, obviously there are defenders, but the limitation of the defender. So once you understand, okay, so I have already spot the weaknesses of black here and what the defender could do here. The next question is how to execute my plan. Spotting the weakness, good. Understanding the possible maximum scales of potential of the defender, which is of course obviously limited. Then you have to execute the plan. Which is the best move? Is the bishop capturing the bishop, or the knight jumping here, or the queen targeting each squares, the h7, h8, checking even though there's a defender. It's like, come on. If the queen would land in the wrong square, the game is over. Because why? You gotta give away your queen to execute a checkmate. But the question is how. Let's go for it. If you will go first here, just a knight. And after capturing the queen, knight takes queen, there is no a follow-up or continuation check. And oh, if you were white here and you accidentally put your queen here, it's like, oh, that is not a good square, because after knight takes queen, the rook cannot, even you capture that knight, of course, the rook is not checking the king, and the king is totally safe. One more. Before I give you the answer, you can pause the video. You also have to understand the possible way out of this king or escape. Is there a way for the black king to escape? Yep, f7. However, I mentioned earlier that that's a good spot for the knight if a chance is given for the knight to jump here. All right, let's go for it. So moving your queen on h7, or wrong one. Let's go here. Queen h8. Are you serious? Giving away your queen. Giving away your queen for what? Bishop. If you are teaching chess, you have to emphasize the value of each pieces, that the queen has 9 points and the bishop has 3 points. Like, are you giving away, just for example, your $9, $3? Like, okay, come on, give me $9 and gonna give you $3. Of course, that is not fair. However, in chess, you can sacrifice, you can give that amount, that value, higher value to lower value, and that is called sacrifice, in order to achieve something, which is the victory. So let's sacrifice our queen. Obviously, black has two ways to respond. Number one, king will go up and bishop will capture. Let's just go up first, trying to escape. However, as I mentioned earlier, that the knight can go here covering this square, and the king is automatically checkmate once the knight jump over on g5. So let's go back. So that's the first response that black could do. The second one is bishop takes queen. Okay, wow, there's no queen on the board. Like, come on, black, hold on. If black could escape. However, there's a follow-up check. Unlike on h7, there's no follow-up check. So h8, a good square for your queen. Because of the rook takes bishop, the check, obviously, king cannot go here because of the bishop. King cannot go here because of the rook. And there's only one square again, f7. And the knight would just go here saying hi. Come on, hi, this is me. This is me, I'm knight on g5. You're check, not only a check, but a checkmate. So that's a 3 moves. So let's just go back and see. Once again, if you are going to execute a plan, if you are creating a plan, you have to understand where the weaknesses are and understand the positioning of your pieces in order for you to have some solid planning, and of course the execution will be undeniably powerful, unstoppable. So that's it. If you enjoyed this simple video lesson about spotting the weakness, don't forget to subscribe, click the follow button. You can also follow my Facebook page. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.